Hello, my name is Gianni Jerez Cepeda. It is currently 12:20 in the morning in Tijuana, Mexico. I'm staying at an Airbnb this weekend. I have an amazing view of the city. I don't know if you can see it. One of my dreams is to really live in New York on a condo and have my bed right next to the giant window pane on the edge of the building and be able to wake up one night and see just the veins of the city, all these flashing lights, moving vessels containing life and journey in each of them. A relevant shot, actually, that I'll put up right now is Scarlett Johansson in Lost in Translation. Um, where she's hunched over in her bed and she's looking out into the city of Tokyo. I want to experience that. I want to live that. I don't really know where that comes from. I don't know where my desire for that comes from. Maybe it just comes from watching movies at such a young age, or maybe it comes from wanting to be able to see everything. I do have that thing where I like to always sit in the corner of a room and observe everybody else. I never like to have my back towards um, a potentially beautiful scene or a landscape. And that's just something that I've developed over time. One of the things that for sure influenced the way that I like to view things and the ways that I like to sit or the places that I like to stay at, it really is just my love for film, for cinema. Not to really get into that, but I really started somewhat early in my life. I think it was around when pandemic hit, where I truly embraced my love for watching new films. You know, I remember when I first started, I started with a director that I liked. So let's say that I watched Pulp Fiction by Quentin Tarantino. I would then move on to his next project that seemed interesting. I would move on to, at the time, it was Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and then Inglorious Bastards, and then Django Unchained, and then The Hateful Eight, and then Reservoir Dogs. But what I really wanted to come on here and talk about tonight is very in relation to cinema. About 2 weeks, I have been at the helm of directing a project that I'm very passionate about, a project that I have grown to love very deeply, a project that I started writing a year or so ago, a project that really has to do with grief, and in particular, the way that we handle grief, the way that we live with grief, the way that we cope with it. I don't want to get into too many details because I genuinely believe this is a project that people are going to want to watch. They're going to want to watch it more than once because it's a very layered film. But what I can reveal about it is kind of the conception of it. And really, that all started at a point in my life where I was very disappointed, and I was disappointed at a lot of things. I was disappointed in people that I loved. I was disappointed in myself. I was disappointed that things were not working out the way that I wished that they would. Going through loss, and not necessarily a loss of a family member or a friend in death, rather a social loss, a loss of presence, a loss of inclusion, a loss of habit. Imagine having somebody there by your side every single day. You get so used to talking to them, you get so used to being close to them, and then the next day, they're not there anymore. And you think that you can handle it, and then another day goes by, and then a week goes by, and then a month goes by, 5 months, 6 months, 2 years, and you don't truly think about it because you believe that you're moving on, but there's going to be that moment where it finally hits you how long you've gone without them. And you're going to realize how much you have changed since then. And that's truly what my script encapsulated from the beginning. I can tell you the first theme that I had, the not theme, but the first draft. I had always played around with wanting to write something that would be very realistic emotionally. And I wanted to do something similar to what Spike Jonze did in Her. If you haven't seen Her, I recommend you watch it because it is such a deeply intimate, personal, exposed film. It explores feelings of isolation, feelings of loneliness so exceptionally well. And Joaquin Phoenix is able to portray that in such a way that makes you want to relate to him if you don't already. That film touched me in a way that I don't think I have ever experienced with a movie. I remember watching this movie way back, maybe around 2017, and just breaking down and crying. I didn't even finish it, and it just worked me up emotionally so much. And ever since then, I really wanted to create something that would have the same effect on somebody else. Because what Her is, it's not just a, oh, watch this so that you can get sad. I don't view it that way. I view that film as a very real, a very personal, a very honest expression of what it's like to lose, what it's like to feel defeated, what it's like to think so lowly of yourself, of your life, of your own value. That film really does such a great job at expressing those feelings, those emotions. And that's where my project stems from. I remember one day it kind of just came to me. The idea of how I wanted to express this idea of grief. It came to me through the form of the term pareidolia, which, if you don't know, pareidolia is the phenomena where your brain and its cognitive function of recognizing patterns starts to see faces in perhaps things like the dark, or things in like a marble countertop, or in rocks or sand or dirt or whatever. But it's the phenomena where you see something that's not actually there. It can be a face, a person, a character, a facial expression, a body part, whatever. And pareidolia, the term, when I heard it, stuck with me because we tend to do that a lot. We find significance in things all the time. And sometimes we redefine what that thing is in order to fit the significance that we found in it. And so, in my creativity and my moment of thinking about this concept, I created a draft about a man who starts to see a face on his wall. And the face isn't just an ordinary face, it's a face that, as the script progresses, it starts to take form, it starts to define itself, and it starts to slowly come out of the wall. And this character at first is frightened of it. He's frightened because he doesn't know what it's about, but he knows that it's there. And nobody else believes him because they all think that he's doing it himself. We learn through exposition and context that he fears the face because it takes on the shape of his deceased wife. And as it progresses, he learns less to fear it and more to be intrigued by it, to want to know more about it, to want to be in its presence more, to observe it more. So that was the original draft that I had for this project. Granted, it has gone through many changes, many rewrites. It's almost completely different from what the original draft was. But I wanted to mention that because I think it really encapsulates well what the original mission statement was. And it was to portray grief in an honest way. I am no stranger to losing people that I wish I hadn't. And I'm sure that you watching have also gone through something similar. Everybody has. And if we haven't, sooner or later we will. That's the truth about living and learning to let go. And the script really operates in an emotional gray area because we as individuals, we think differently. So we tend to have different definitions over what's right and what's wrong sometimes. For example, a person going through that grief of losing a loved one, but they have reminders. Perhaps it can be a framed picture, or it can be their clothes, or it can be their digital footprint, having their saved playlist, right? These things that remind you that this person existed, that this person was loved, that this person shared moments with you, significant moments, that this person was important to you. These reminders, these things that let you know that they were real, if you chose to delete them or if you chose to keep them, both of those options can't be labeled as right or wrong. But many people will try to tell you that they are either right or that they are either wrong. If you keep those reminders, somebody can say you refuse to move on. But if you get rid of those reminders, somebody can say that you're not appreciating or you're not wanting to face that they were real, that you're not wanting to face your issue, your problem, that you're running away from it. So many people will see things differently. They will understand things differently and they will take things differently. And that is a very real truth that I had in mind when writing this screenplay. I think that if we do this right, it's truly going to change somebody's life. Because that's the thing about art, and that's the thing about expression. So many people live off of it. We see changes in opinions all the time because somebody is persuasive enough. We see people do things. We see people sacrifice things in the name of other people to want them to do more, to want them to live their life, to want them to be happy, to get them out of troubles. We do that on a daily basis. And if we are able to do that through our own decisions, we are able to also do it through the art of expression. And the expression of art is something that revolves us every single day. We are constantly reminded that there is a person behind every object in our lives, from the countertop, this marble, or the laptop that I'm using to record. Somebody was passionate enough to design it. Somebody was disciplined enough to produce it. And the same comes with film. The same thing comes with the story that we see unfold before our very eyes in perhaps an IMAX screen or a standard screen. The same thing happens with the lines, the dialogue that we hear, the dialogue that pushes the story forward, the dialogue that makes points, the dialogue that tells us through context what we're supposed to understand from this work of art. And I think that this film is going to be just like all the other ones, all the other great films. I'm talking about Being John Malkovich. I'm talking about Adaptation. I'm talking about Punch Drunk Love. I'm talking about Magnolia. I'm talking about all these movies that have to do with living, with experiencing, with deciding, with regretting, with facing the consequences of your actions. I was told that the script was exceptional. And I myself have trouble believing it because I don't have that confidence yet, that self-esteem within the film industry. I can't even call myself a filmmaker yet because this is my debut, my directorial debut. But I believed in this script. I believe to this day in this script. I believe in this film. I believe in this production. And I believe the people that tell me that they love it. I believe those who were passionate enough to work with me to get it going, to get it on the ground, to start the production, to start the cinematography, to start storyboarding, to start the production design, to start the camera selection, to start writing more about it, to elaborate on our characters. I believe in all of them. I love them. I love them very, very much. And I'm very excited to release this film. I'm very excited to show people what we can do with great story and a lot of passion. I hope that this film is able to emotionally connect with people, because it really is something that I think people need to see. It's something that I would have loved to see when going through my own respective struggles. But the thing about today is that so many people are struggling, and so many people feel like in a crowded room, they are still alone. So I think that those people will really feel the comfort when watching this film. The comfort that they're not alone. The comfort that other people have experienced similar feelings. Perhaps not the same situation, but the same reaction to it. The feeling of being alone, the feeling of not having that much worth, the feeling of not knowing what is the right decision, what's the best way to proceed, what's the thing that I should do? The feeling of having questions that nobody can truly answer. The feeling of wanting the easy way out. I think people now more than ever are going through so many things that we don't even see. Everybody is an iceberg nowadays. All you see is the tip of the iceberg. You never actually see the deep part of it, the part that we hidden from us. But through art, through expression, through language, through communication, we make that point that we also feel the same way, that we also have reacted the same way. We also regret the same things. I remember when I first saw the film Where the Wild Things Are, I broke down because Spike did such a great job of capturing these feelings that you get as a child. And that to me is one of the single-handedly most beautiful things that we could experience as people. The feeling of not being alone, the feeling of meeting somebody, of talking with somebody, and just feeling so understood, feeling so seen. And to me, that's something that movies did all the time. And it's something that I think that this film can do for other people. So I'm very excited. I'm very passionate about it. I am, without a doubt, looking to grow an audience. I want this film to receive a lot of exposure because I genuinely believe in the minds that I have working behind it. And we are going to do something great here. We are going to make a production that I believe is going to blow a lot of people's minds. And we're working great with practical effects. We're working great with the visuals. Despite having a limited budget, we are truly going to make something that I think is going to look amazing. And I'm very excited to see how each of our respective careers within the film industry takes off. And I know it's, maybe I'm reaching, maybe I'm thinking too far ahead. But the truth about it is that I've always wanted to be a filmmaker. I've always wanted to make movies. I think it's one of the biggest things that in my life right now. Making something that people can watch, enjoy, and want to watch it again. Making something deep, making something profound, something full of depth, something layered. Um, that is the ultimate goal for me. And whether or not I get paid for it is really secondary, because at heart, I am an artist and I want people to enjoy what I make. So that's really about it. I kind of ranted, I was all over the place, but all in all, the heart of this video is this project that I'm very excited for. I cannot wait once again to show you all what we are working on. And I wish I could tell you more details about what the story consists of, what the elements are, what who the main protagonist and the antagonist and the conflict, but I really need to bite my tongue. I need to refrain myself because I want you to experience it. Um, you're going to be hearing more updates. We're going to be seeing more videos of me talking to the camera. Maybe I'll talk more about other filmmakers that inspired me along the way. The biggest inspirations are definitely the following: Paul Thomas Anderson, David Fincher, Alejandro González Iñárritu, Alfonso Cuarón, James Cameron, Christopher Nolan, Ridley Scott, all of these exceptional directors, people who have these amazing visions, these amazing ways of viewing things and expressing it, putting it on a camera, and then giving it to us. So I'm also very grateful for them, and I'm glad that they made the films that they're making. It's currently June 21st, so The Odyssey is going to come out in a month. I'm excited for The Odyssey. I'm excited for Zach Krager's Resident Evil. I'm really, really, really looking forward to whatever Martin Scorsese is working on. I believe he's working on an adaptation of The Devil in the White City with Leonardo DiCaprio. That is exciting. I'm looking forward to it. Um, I love coming to Tijuana to buy books and literature. I actually just picked up a few books today. I have actually this nice little copy of The Great Gatsby. It's a little pocket-sized version of it, and I plan on taking it a lot to places and just reading in honor of Nolan's upcoming film, The Odyssey and the Iliad, and yeah, just a bunch of other books that I'm really looking forward to reading. Um, I'm going to be talking a lot about things that I'm passionate about. So not only this project, but films and topics and maybe even history lessons. Who knows? But for now, that is all. I should be going to bed soon because I'm crossing early morning at 3 a.m. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for listening to me talk about things that I truly care about. It really means the most. And I hope you have a great day. Take care.